Hey guys, welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am your host, Teresa Caesar, and you are listening to episode 58. You'll never find the right person if you can't let go of the wrong one. Hey, would you cuddle me? Are you or anyone you know looking for love? Well, word on the street is that dating is no fun. And even less fun and scarier is dating after divorce, heartbreak, or loss. Well, today's guest is on a mission to make dating fun and empowering. I'm bringing back my girl, Janice Noehulani, who's a shamanic love coach, modern day mystic, natural born seer. She is simply helping the world ignite love in all areas of life. So friends, let's get started. Janice, welcome back to the podcast.
Yay, thank you. Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Girl, what have you been up to since we last recorded? What was that, a couple months ago? What have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. Life has exploded in the most amazing ways. I mean, I stayed really consistent with serving, but things are changing on this earth plane. Can you feel what I'm
Ooh,
talking about?
I do feel it. Yeah, can you give us a little explanation?
Yeah, what we're seeing is that there's an increase of energy that's happening on this planet. And so if you're feeling foggy, if you're feeling a little like overstimulated, if you're having a hard time feeling inspired, you're right where you need to be. Like this is happening for a lot of people. And I know that a lot of people who listen to this space, they are go-getters. You're typically people who like really know what you want and are ready to do what it takes to go after it. But if you're feeling some stagnation right now, I want you to say, just sit still because there's
Mhm.
purpose to it. It's like that percolation that needs to happen because all of us are going through a major upgrade. And
Mm,
part of that upgrade is getting even more clear about what we want to create in our lives, willing to receive and what we're willing to do to receive. Like things are totally shifting in a big way, right?
you're right with the clarity. And I like what you said, sit still, sitting still.
Because here's the thing, laws of attractions be do have. The thing is sitting still is doing something.
I love that. Sitting still is still doing something. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Those
so good.
pauses are so important. So if you're pushing up against the energy that's like pause, you're probably setting yourself back a little bit, you know? Whether it's your health, your mental well-being, lean into joy. That's really the message. Lean into what is joy. And if you don't know what that is, seek that out because that
Mm,
will be the doorway that you've been searching for. That will just allow the energy to start pouring towards you.
I love that. Thank you for that. Well, there's a lot of missions that you're on. You are one of the wisest women I know. You came on and we talked prosperity consciousness. You've come on and we talked about manifest love. But I want to pivot into this other mission that you're on. And you say that you're on a mission to make dating fun. Girl, we got lots to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So first I want to say the shamanic love coach is back.
Mm, mm,
If you
ooh.
don't know me, I'm Janice Noehulani, and I became well known all over the world for being a shamanic love coach. I had this like knack for helping women find the love of their life. Like 4 out of 5 women who would do my program would find love. And for about 8 years, I tracked that, right? And then I got a divorce. And my whole life imploded. And I went into major healing. I was like, okay, I got to figure out my life. And so I set aside the love work. I was like, self-love for sure. Everything I do is about love. But I set aside the finding your partner.
Mm,
I was in a 16-year marriage. So when I decided to start dating, that was weird.
Yeah.
The whole thing was freaky. I mean, if I could be so transparent here, my friends had to sit me down and just really go over some basic stuff that I needed to know around dating, you know? I've been single now for 4 years. I spent the first 3 trying to figure out the world of dating, and it was fun, sometimes, if I was to be honest. And
Sometimes.
it was horrifying other times. But what happened through this process is I began to learn there are many rules about dating out there, and some of them are real, and some of them just don't work for a woman like me.
So you have done many courses. You're incredible. You have so many various offers. Are you going to do an offer as far as guiding people and showing them how to be empowered when dating and to make dating fun again?
Yes, I am. I'm so excited. And I'm collaborating with a team of people actually.
Ooh, tell
So
me more.
yes, I will. I'm creating a course, dating after divorce, heartbreak and loss, but it's mainly dating after divorce. And again, it was created because I literally was panicked and I had no idea how to do any of the stuff that we're going to be teaching. So it is for people who are just starting out dating, but it is also people who are frustrated in dating. Okay.
Mm,
Now, my bestie is going to be creating people's profiles, dating profiles, and she is a genius at this. Literally,
mm,
when you're creating your profile, and this will help if you decide not to even do dating profiles and just meet people more randomly, because it's
mhm.
going to help you be your authentic self.
I love that.
Yeah, you're going to lead with that. So you're not hiding out. You're not, we're going to create a profile with great pictures, and they're not going to be professional pictures, y'all. You don't need those. But you do
Mhm.
need specific pictures that show who you are, right? And then we're going to create the words on your profile that authentically represent you. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's the first step.
Ooh, I love that.
Then we're going to give you some tools on how to safely date. That's
Ooh,
another.
safely date.
There's
Yeah.
some really simple things to do. One of them being get a second line. You don't have to get a second phone. You get a second
Mm,
number for your
mm.
phone because you want to stay safe and you don't want people to
Wow.
be able to track you from everywhere. So that's a
Mm,
good way to do it. When you decide to give someone your number outside of the app, you have a safe way of doing that transition, right?
yeah.
Some people are really good at texting. I am a really good person at texting. I'm also a really good person on the phone. Other people just want to meet really fast, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, again, dating style. So, if that's the way you
Mhm.
do it, we're going to do it in ways that help you stay positive and safe. We're also going
Mhm.
to really give you some rituals on how to get into your I'm sexy, I'm powerful, I'm
Ooh, I love that.
beautiful zone, right? Like
Ooh.
I am the gift mentality. And you want to do that because not only do the people in front of you think hot, 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 but you're just feeling really powerful and good, you know? And from that place, it's way easier to say yes with confidence, but it's also way easier to say no with
Ooh,
confidence.
I love that. I love that.
We're going to have a flirting 101 class. Now, ladies, there are some of you out there who definitely know how to flirt. But then there's some of us who are just like, how in the heck do I do that? Girl, this is one of my favorite
I
things.
love it. Flirting 101.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, like, that is an art form. And done well, it's
Yep.
is just like there's nothing like it. And not only that, you're going to learn how to flirt with life itself, and that
That.
opens doorways. So here's the thing. This is about dating, but this honestly is about your whole life and how you're bringing in what you desire.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. All of Janice's information, links, her website will be in the show notes. And of course, you can follow her on any of her handles at Janice Noehulani, right?
.com, yeah, or the
.com.
LinkedIn. Yep.
Yeah, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. So any other things that you want to mention?
First of all, there's many more things that we're going to be teaching on in that dating after divorce, heartbreak, and loss. So FYI.
I love that. Yeah. Can't
But
give it all in this episode.
yeah, totally, totally. And whether you're in the place, the phase of your dating life where you are just reinventing yourself, you are just dipping your
Mhm,
toes in,
mhm.
or you're like, I am ready, I want my man or my
Yeah.
person, or if you have all of those going on, they're each very valuable, but going at dating really can't skip those steps. They're so important for your success overall. And so making this a wonderful journey is, I think, the direction we have to go. We are meant to be in partnership.
Mm.
Our cells need other healthy cells to be even more healthy and create more healthy cells. We are meant to be in partnership. Choosing to not be in partnership, that's great. That's no problem. But as a species, I think we are very much meant to be in partnership. But why not make it enjoyable?
Yes. And it's just that whole, like, what you always talk about on everything. What's your story on love? What's your story on prosperity? And making your story about dating.
So it
Mhm.
supports you rather than takes from you.
I love that.
I advocate for knowing your intuition, right? And this is so important to listen to your intuition so you can decipher, is what that person's telling me, is that accurate for me or is it not? So I spent a lot of time in that space because I was unconfident, straight up.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm a confident woman. I'm successful. I had a long-term marriage. I was not confident in this world. And so it took a while to figure out what was right for me and what wasn't. The hard part about that is, if you do it the way everyone else does it, is that you got to be in a lot of dates in order to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Unless you're one of those lucky ones who just boom meets their person and then it's love. But if I could be honest, I'm just way too jaded for that.
Yeah.
Or
And you're probably not the only one though, right? There's got to be like 80% or more feel that way.
yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people out there. I hardly ever hear great dating stories. You always
Mm.
hear how terrible dating is, how it sucks so bad. By the way, wrong. The only common denominator in that scenario is you, honey.
I love how we're always pinning the blame, right? We're blaming everyone else.
I'll tell you what, I have had some funny and heartbreaking dating times, but I have also, and pretty consistently now, have had so much fun. And I think
Mm.
we need to bring the joy back in dating.
How do we do that? How do we bring the joy back into dating?
First of all, here is my serious suggestion, and this might bother some of you when you listen to it, but I'm being very honest. You have got to take love off the table for a while, because
Mm.
when it is the main agenda, it puts so much pressure on you and it puts pressure on other people. And here's the thing, men are actually really sensitive.
I like as you laugh.
I mean,
But for real, men are sensitive.
but like for real, they're just as scared as we are. They have some terrible skills sometimes around trying to hide that. Men in my age group, they have been taught not to be afraid, and they're scared to death. And the most men I know are incredibly empathic. And we don't give them credit for that. So when we take love off the table and realize, you know, you're the gift, actually. You're interviewing them. You're not ready to give over to the very first person that says yes just because they're saying yes. It's really important to know your dating style. Now, I hope
Mm.
that your clan can handle this, but we're going to be talking about some things. I hope Teresa's tribe can handle it, because the one thing that I know about dating is literally we all have a dating style. So here's the thing, everyone. I'm a wide open, wild woman. So most people think I'm kinky. I'm the most vanilla mama on the planet. I mean, I even took the test and they were like, Janice, you are vanilla. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It even shocked me, actually. But
I
on the test,
Oh my
I
God, I'm loving
like
it.
rated 75% vanilla. What does that mean, though? I had to realize what my passions, pleasures, and desires are. And
Mm.
and when I was able to learn about that, then I could attract people aligned to that. Here's an example. I learned what my dating style is. I am demisexual. And what that means is I cannot have a connection with anyone unless there's an emotional connection, an energetic connection. Now, let me just say, I don't have to tell everyone, hey, I'm a demisexual, because people
Yeah.
are like, what? You know, I don't have to do that. What I do is when I'm on app, I have been meeting people on apps during COVID time. It's an easy way to do it. But how I do it, because that's my style, I need an emotional connection. I begin to talk to them immediately and pull out and see if they can meet me there. I
Oh.
immediately say something interesting from their profile. And if they come back with a hi, how are you today? They're never my person, because I just
Mhm.
gave them a juicy juice and they can either meet me or not. Now, the
Ooh.
men who immediately get it and they meet me, those are the men I have fun with. And then, okay, so then one more example and then I'll leave it. Then I have another person who she doesn't like to be touched. She loves
Mhm.
to love. She loves partnership that is action oriented. They create things together. But if they kiss, she's fine with it. If they don't, she's fine with it. Like, for
Mm.
me, that blows my mind. But
Mhm.
that's what she's about. So she needs someone who's going to meet her with a
Mm.
more like, let's do together. Let's actually build things. Let's create a life together. And it doesn't have to be, an all or nothing thing, right? Because one person may
Yeah.
do all of those things.
Oh,
But
I
what
love that.
you do is you begin to be honest about that in a tactful way,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
I teach people how to do that. You
Yeah.
want to do it in the right way and not waste your time with people, to learn the signs about people who are not in alignment with you. The one thing that is right about men and women is men are actually simple. So if you
Mm.
speak to them in a way that helps them win instead of sets them up to feel like you're testing them, you know,
Mm.
we're in charge of creating a safe space for us. But when we're making a safe space for us, we're also making a safe space for everyone else,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Nervous system can relax, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And of course, there's so many nuances to this, right? Because communication isn't high for everyone. And so again, finding out your dating style. First, finding out like what your need is. Take away them out of the picture entirely. Nothing about dating is about the other person. It's literally about exploring who you are, what turns you on, and what you want out of your life. So there's
So
many ways to go about that. Dating after divorce and heartbreak and
yeah.
loss. So there's two subtleties. One can be excitement, I just want to say. But then there's the other energy that's like, oh my God, I don't, you know what? I don't think he's gonna like this dress. I'm gonna change. Then you change like 500 times or whatever. Or,
Mm.
oh man, um, I know I said that thing wrong. I know I said that thing wrong. I wish I would have said something different. Those kind of behaviors,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
it's where you are getting dysregulated. Now, that could be an old pattern of yours and not about them, but someone who triggers off that instinct in you means you need to do some work, or they might not be the right person.
Yeah.
And so some healing work needs to happen. If you're a woman here and you're listening to this, this is so ingrained in us. Most of the part about enjoying dating again is literally being willing to unlearn everything.
Ooh, mic drop. Like Oprah would say, tweetable moment. It's true.
It is true. Yeah, especially if you really do want a different relationship than the ones that you had. Patience, be honest with yourself and the person in front of you. Realize that the person that's in front of you, you might have good chemistry, but chemistry doesn't make a relationship, nor does just love. There are so many things outside of chemistry and love that actually make up a relationship.
You said something that I never forgot, and it's lean into your own magic when dating.
Yes,
And I love that because I love anything magic because we are the magic.
we are the magic.
Yeah.
We are the
Mhm.
magic. Yeah, that definitely is one of those pieces, is to be able to listen to your yes.
Mm.
You know? I mean, look, if you're thinking about someone and you're waiting for weeks to communicate it because of a rule, that's an injustice to you and him. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, think about it. Now, sometimes in order to know what you do want, you really have to be
Yeah.
clear about what you don't want, but you don't want to focus there. You want to move into what you do want faster. So that means that when you see something you don't want, those deal breakers, you're like, nope, sorry, I don't think
Mhm.
we're a match. Moving on. We get to make the rules about our relationships, and we must.
I love that. Make your rules for your relationships. Well, to close it up, I'm
All
going to
right.
ask you three questions.
Okay.
And the first one, Janice, what are your favorite dating affirmations?
Okay. I have two. What is meant for me will always find me. That's one. And the second one is love loves me.
Oh, so good. I love those very much. As the affirmation, babe. You know me, I live by affirmations. All right. And the second question, what is your favorite dating app?
Okay, it's so interesting because I I live in New Mexico, but I date all over the country. Potentially all over
No
the
wonder
world.
no wonder you're having so much fun dating. You're like traveling. You're like nationwide. Uh,
And there's a reason for that, for sure. One particularly is that Albuquerque's actually has a pretty small dating pool, and all my friends have dated these men. So I date outside, and I'll tell you, every place you go to, an app works better. So, for instance, Colorado, I love Tinder. And so, by the way, Tinder's not just a place for hookups, it really isn't. So in Colorado, I love Tinder. And actually, some of the sexiest, most spiritually deep, beautiful men I met from Tinder on Colorado. And it's
oh, I
just like,
love that. Tinder,
too much
Colorado.
fun. Yeah. Okay. And then in California, I use Bumble because for some reason, I meet those men there and have had less luck. There's different sites. Like if you want a polyamorous relationship or to be someone's unicorn, yes, my loves, there's all sorts of names out there now for everything.
And so the last question, Janice, what is your dating story?
I know who I am. I'm a powerful woman in my field and in my life. But I'm also incredibly delicate. You know, I hold both of those really well. And
Mm,
so that means that I am confident and insecure. But who isn't like that? So in my dating life, I've had to really navigate that and learn my body speak. Learn
Mm.
when my body is saying, don't go there. And then learn how to listen to it. And every time I do that, I feel good. I'm safe. That also means those times where I'm nervous, but I keep getting, my body is like, this is okay. You can receive this love. And let me tell you, if you've been brokenhearted or you've had loss or things have been confusing in relationships, I know it's hard to receive love. It's hard to trust love. Your body's wisdom, when you begin to learn how it speaks to you, will guide you to know when to trust love and when to walk away from love. It's so wise. This was a process for me. And I live by it. I feel so protected. And I let the right energy in.
I do hope that you enjoyed my conversation with Janice Noehulani. Please remember to download this episode and share this podcast with all your friends and family. Also, be sure to find me on Instagram and Facebook for updates on upcoming episodes and other projects that I'm involved with. Otherwise, friends, I'll be back in 2 weeks.